And welcome back. In this session, we will be looking at your CloudWatch events. We will look at an introduction to CloudWatch events, and then we will also look at an example of how we can make use of CloudWatch events to monitor the events that are happening in the AWS account. Now, the events can be any events like launching an instance or creating an S3 bucket or terminating an instance. Likewise, any service, any events that you want to monitor, we can make use of your CloudWatch events for that. Once again, before I start off with the session, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So let's get started with this. So like I said, your CloudWatch events, these are mainly used when you want to monitor or deliver your real-time stream of system events. All right. So these real-time stream of events are basically changes to your AWS resources. So when I say changes, like launching an instance, then stopping that instance or terminating that instance. So we are changing the events of that AWS resources. So when you want to monitor that real time events, we can make use of your CloudWatch events for that. So not only EC2 instances, it can be any other services you want. So with this, we will be creating simple rules that basically where we define which service we want to monitor, what event we want to monitor, and then we will be creating target functions for these events. Like what should happen when an instance is launched, like you want to send out a notification or you want to trigger a Lambda function. We can have target functions or streams. So these CloudWatch events that we will be creating, it becomes aware of these changes as they occur. Like, it continuously keeps an eye on the resources that we have mentioned, and it gets to know whenever there is a change. And once it gets to know that there is a change, it will respond to those operational changes and then takes some actions based on what we have defined. It will take those necessary actions. Now, the actions can be sending out notifications or triggering some Lambda functions or making some changes to those resources or simply capturing the state information. It can be any of these events. You can define those actions that you want to take. So, like I said, you will be configuring rules with this in your CloudWatch events to basically alert you of the changes that are happening to your services. And we can also integrate this event with third-party systems using Amazon EventBridge, like send out a Slack notification or something like that. We can do that as well. So you can simply set up alerts whenever changes are happening within the services. We can integrate them with third-party tools by making use of this service, which is your Amazon EventBridge. So I will be talking about the EventBridge in some time. Now, let me show you an example of how we can make use of your CloudWatch events. So for this example, I will be using an EC2 instance. So let's say I want to monitor the entire life cycle of the EC2 instance. Now, what I mean by that is starting from launching that instance to terminating that instance, I want to monitor everything. So we have launch instance, we have stop instance, we have restart instance, we have terminate instance. So we have different stages, right? I want to monitor everything. We can do that. So for this, we will go to rules over here and we will begin with writing a rule in your CloudWatch event. So here click on create rule, give it a name. So let's say we will call this as monitor EC2 instance. We will give a description, and then do you want to schedule to run this rule. So you can, irrespective of the event, you can schedule this rule to run, or we want this rule on an event pattern, so whenever that event occurs. So we'll go to next, and then event source. So we are making use of events or EventBridge. You can use other options as well. Now here you have a sample event that you can define. In our case, this is where we are going. So we are creating a method. So what is your event pattern? So here you can make use of EventBridge partners or AWS services. So we are looking for AWS services. Now which service are you looking for? So like I said, any event in AWS, you can keep a track of it. So if you want S3, you can keep a track of S3. You want to keep a track of VPC. Looks like VPC is not there. Let me see. Yeah, it's not there. So let's say EC2. So there I have my EC2. So we are looking for an example of your EC2. Now what is the type of event you're looking for? So any events or events from cloud trial or snapshots notification, volume notification, AMI state change, or what are you looking for? So in my case, we're looking for this EC2 instance state change notification. Now, are you looking for a particular state or any state? So specific states would be whenever the instance transitions to running or shutting down or terminated. So what are you looking for? So in my case, let's say I'm looking for any state. And are you looking for any instance or any specific instance? So in this case, let's say if you have 10 instances, out of that you want to monitor only for one instance, you can define that as well. So in our case, it would be any instance. And then next you can define your target. So for this event that we have defined, what is the action you want to take? So you can trigger lambda functions, you can trigger a notification, you can create a snapshot, you can stop that. And so there are different targets that you can do. So in our case, we want to send out a notification, and you will be making use of a topic. Now in my case, I don't have a topic, so we will first need to create a topic. So for this, we are making use of the SNS service. So in AWS, when we talk about your notifications, SNS is one of the service that we can use. So let's say this will be CloudWatch Events. Next, so standard, we will give it the display name. I'm not going to go with any of these options, and we'll create this topic. And then your subscriber. So you will need to add the subscriber who should be receiving these notifications. So I want to send out an email notification. The endpoint would be this, and then create subscription. So this will send out a confirmation email to the mailbox that you have defined, and you will need to confirm that subscriptions. Only then you will be able to receive the notification. I'm gonna pause and I will do that now, and I'll come back to this. So once you're done confirming your subscription, if you go back to that event, you should be able to see the status confirmed. And now I will be able to receive the notification to this mailbox. All right. So let's go back to the target and let me refresh this. And here, this is what we are using. And then these are some additional settings. We're not going to look at that. Next, you can add a tag if you want. Next, you get to review everything and then create your rule. So this will create a CloudWatch event which will monitor my EC2 instance for the events in my EC2 instance. Now, let's say I will launch a new EC2 instance. So let's say sample, and this is all fine. And let me select my existing security group and let me launch this instance. Now this is an event that is happening in my AWS account. So pending, so that's an event, right? And if you look at the rule that we have created, we are monitoring the EC2 instance state change. So here, if you see, this is the instance state change. So this will trigger a notification for me. You should be able to see the notification. So here you can see state change, your account ID, which region. You can see the instance ID. So here is the instance ID I have, and you can see, and the state is pending. And let me refresh this. So now it is in the running status. So I should have received one more notification. So let me go back, and here is another notification which is for the running status. So this is basically what your CloudWatch events can be used for. So, sending out notifications, that's one usage. There are many things that you can do as part of your targets for these CloudWatch events. In our case, we're simply sending out a notification. So likewise, if I terminate this instance, I will be receiving notifications for that as well. So shutting down, so it should send out a new notification. So use case can be, you let's say you have critical instances, and you want to get notified whenever anything happens to those instances, right? So you can make use of your CloudWatch events for that. So likewise, once this instance transitions to terminated, I will receive one more notification telling that the instance has been terminated. All right. So that's basically what your CloudWatch events are. We can make use of these CloudWatch events to basically monitor any events that are happening in your AWS account. So like I said, it's not only for EC2 service. There are lots of service that you can monitor. You can, if you're not able to find the service you're looking for, you can also make use of the cloud trial to monitor those events, any events. So here in this case, if you see, these are all the services that you can monitor, keep a track of it, and kind of take some actions whenever something happens in these services. Now, this CloudWatch events, so earlier it used to be part of your CloudWatch service, but now they have moved it to something known as Amazon EventBridge. All right, so I'll just give you an overview of what is your EventBridge. So your EventBridge was formerly called as your Amazon CloudWatch Events. All right. So the default event bus and the rules that we create in CloudWatch Events are also displayed in the EventBridge console. So this is the EventBridge console, and if I open up the CloudWatch service, I should be able to see the rule over yeah, so basically it basically redirects me to the EventBridge service. So EventBridge, it uses the same Cloud Events API. So your code that uses the CloudWatch Event APIs stays the same. All right. So EventBridge, it is built on the capabilities of your CloudWatch events, such as features. So it contains features such as your partner events, schema registry, EventBridge pipes, and then so on. So basically, it's recommended that we slowly transition to EventBridge for all the CloudWatch event related tasks that we might have. So any new features that are being introduced, it has been added to the EventBridge service, and they're not included in the Amazon CloudWatch events. All right, but all the features that we have in the CloudWatch events, they are available in the EventBridge service. All right, so it is recommended that we make use of this EventBridge to in place of your CloudWatch events, to create your rules and monitor the events in your AWS account. That's about your introduction and an example for your CloudWatch events. That's basically how we can make use of your EventBridge or CloudWatch events to basically monitor the events in your AWS account, and then take some actions based on the events that you are monitoring. That's all I have for this session. Thank you. Once again, before you leave, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And if you like the video, leave a like, and please share the video.